Personnel, cybersecurity, real estate, or legislation of some type.
Well,
Legal,
before
I
we
guess.
do that, so is item number 10 off the agenda?
No, it's not off the agenda. Item 10, no, item 10 is not off the agenda.
It's not?
No, why would it be off the agenda?
Where's Mr. Malone?
I don't know, but it's not off the. He's over here, sitting over here.
Well, then I'd rather just do that and then come back to item number 9 and make that the end of the executive session.
All right, we can do that too, I suppose. All right, so okay, I'll tell you what. So, all right, so we've ended our recess, okay, so if that's like a general consensus to have the number 10, Mr. Malazi speak at this point, we can have him do that, and then we'll circle back to the previous, for executive session to do this other matter then. If that's good, okay, Mr. Malazi?
We'll be done.
I'm sorry?
And that one will be done after that.
All right, Ms. Malazi, sir?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm presenting the. I'm pleased to let you know that we have eventually caught up with our bank reconciliation up to end of August. So what I'm presenting to you is the financial report from January through end of August. And I'm presenting this one in a summary form that will be, I'll be touching funds. So it will be general fund, then funds, then funds. Then come on the 13th of October, I'll be bringing to you budget amendment. You will see some of the detailed report that you have. Some funds were not budgeted. And this is an issue that was there in 2024, where it brought up that there was an expenditure of over 32 million, which did not have revenue, which is not correct. So budget amendment, for it to budget, to balance, it has to have revenues and expenses. And that's what we will be doing on the 13th of October for our budget of 2025. Because still 2025, we have some funds that we have revenues, but they were not brought before council for it to be approved. Then end of October, I'll be presenting our quarterly report for September, and that one will be in details. So that's when you have general fund in details. Every department will be presented. But today it will be a summary of funds.
Okay, sir.
So the first one here will be the revenues, general fund revenues. General fund, we budgeted for 29.2 million. That's general fund. And as of end of August, we are at 14.2 million. That's general fund. And as you see, the second one is that's property and the evidence. They didn't budget. There was no budget. But on the corresponding side, on year to date, you find that we have received there 9,000. So budgeted nothing, they didn't estimate anything, but we have received. Those are the things that will be correcting come October 13th, just to make sure that we have received revenues, therefore there should be a budget. And it has to come before council for you to approve it. Then we have Red Speed Fund. That's a new fund so far, as you know, that we amended this one after the adoption of the 2025 budget. So that one we budgeted for 1.5, and we have received so far as year to date, as end of August. Then we have upper funds. Upper funds you see in revenues, there's zero that we budgeted, and we have received nothing. But when we go to expenses, you find out that there are a lot of expenses that have occurred on ARPA funds because it was not there. We spent it in general fund. But projects are still there because we are required to go with the ARPA funds until 2026. That's when ARPA funds will be completed. I will not be going to each and every fund in there. I'll also go down the line. There is URA. URA is what we budgeted for. That's the money, it's a revenue, but that will be transfers from general fund to pay the debt that we have. And that's the reason why you see that there's nothing that we have received on URA. Other URA,
We zero. Yeah.
we budgeted what amount you are seeing. That amount is what we will transfer to pay our debt, to service our debt. So on the revenue year to date, there is nothing because we don't expect anything. In other words, we have not yet transferred to pay the debt.
Right, gotcha.
The other concern that we have, I think I've put it in the report, is enterprise funds. All enterprise funds, that's water, sewer, stormwater, and sanitation. The revenues are all down, regardless of sanitation. Is the amount of money we receive, revenues we receive from there, they come from billing. Taxes are not yet out, but still revenues are going down. So we will have to assess and find out what the issue about that, and we will keep you posted. All the three revenues are down. Then we have the last one that I will have is the conference center. Conference center we discussed during the retreat that the biggest expense that is in the conference center is the personnel. Personnel is put in the conference center instead of putting it into events. It's about 500 and something. So we are going to move that to put them into events personnel so that at least we should be talking about 200 and something for revenues for the conference center. But now it's talking about the 700, and the biggest there is the personnel from events. And then we have the amphitheater that we budgeted for 2.6, and the 2.6 we have received $1 million, and we still have got some concerts to come, so that will be up to October, then we will assess how much. But we are half of, almost closer to half of what we budgeted for. Budget amendment will clear out this one when we do budget amendment so that the negatives will go out. We'll transfer money from general fund to make it up for the shortfalls in revenues.
Okay.
I'm moving from revenues. If there's any question or comment on revenues.
Any questions for revenues at all, council?
Yeah, I'm just a little, I mean, this is the presentation we received that pretty much, I mean, we reviewed these numbers at the retreat. So just kind of understanding, is just a need to just, this is pretty much what you sent us in the email, right? For us to
That is
review.
correct. And I added you details.
Okay.
That is true, yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Then we get into the expenses, general fund. As you see, general fund, what we have received and what we have spent. So general fund revenues and general fund expenses are almost the same, 14 million. However, on revenues, they may be 14 million, but remember that the big chunk of the revenues of general fund we have not yet received. So you have sales tax, we are 1 month behind. Then we have insurance premiums, that is the 3.5 million we are yet to receive in November. Then we have property tax, about 7.4 million is yet to be received, I think, in December. So revenue may be down, but we'll catch up as we go are receiving those three big revenues. That's the premium insurance, sales tax, as well as the property tax.
Excuse me. It certainly looks like the T-Splosh is overperforming with a $5.6 million projection, and we've already collected.
That's another one. You see there that on expenses, we didn't budget anything, but we have spent money. And those are the things that we will be correcting through budget amendment. On revenues, you see that we have received money on revenues, but on expenses, we didn't budget. So
Right.
we didn't budget revenues and we didn't budget expenses, but we have received and we are spending.
Yeah, but certainly in the past with this particular situation, this is year to date.
Yes.
We have, I think the last count, I think we had maybe 15 or 16 million dollars in the account, and we received this amount this year. So it certainly is, even though it might be trending that way, we need to get some of these projects done, which I anticipate we will actually do because we have money in the bank. But these numbers can be deceptive because, it looks like, again, we're certainly exceeding what the projection was. And then when you look at it year to date, or you look at it year to year, it might look like it's balancing. But in the past, because we haven't spent those funds, we have accumulated quite a bit.
Yeah, as we said that there were two sets of reports that were being made, and the reports that were being given to you to make wise decisions were not. So we misled you, but hopefully these ones I did bring them intentionally so that you can see them when we make budget amendment. All these zeros will be gone.
Right, I just want everybody to know where you're pulling the money from. You're pulling the money from because the money's in the bank in these various accounts. You will be able to pull the money on the budget transfers because the money has already been collected in T-Splosh and Splosh and Splosh 6. And you're not taking it out of general fund. You're taking that from the balances in these funds, correct?
So that of the 32 that is highly spoken about, these were expenses that were incurred through T-Splosh, majority of them T-Splosh, Splosh 5, T-Splosh, Splosh 5, and now we have Splosh 6 in 2025. So all those expenses had the corresponding revenues. Of course, there were some that we had to transfer money, but the majority of all those expenses were from public works. That's to do with the roads paving and many other projects, citywide projects that were performed, and the budget was zero. ARPA funds, again, we spent a lot of projects paying for projects in ARPA funds. It was not budgeted for. So that budget amendment was to make the budget balance, or what would have been done originally when the budget was being provided to you to approve it. Unfortunately, it was not done.
Okay.
So every penny of that amendment was balanced with revenues and expenses.
Okay.
Water still the same. You find out on the water side. If you go on water sanitation, you find out that all expenses are higher than revenues. The budgeted amount and the expenses are almost closer, but revenues on the page that we just finished are much, much lower. But we will assess, sit down and see how we can remedy on that. That's the summary of expenses. If there's a question on that one before I get into general summaries.
I have a question, well, more so a comment. Are these still from the previous administration, financial director and city manager, the former? Was this done during that regime still? Is that what we're doing here? We're still clearing that up?
So we are in 2025 budget. 2025 budget was prepared last year.
Okay, that's,
So the first correction of 2025 budget will happen when we do our budget amendment on the 13th of October.
okay, I got you. So it was
but-
during that
Yeah.
administration.
So what you did was you accepted the audit of 2024, but from January 2025 going forward is what we are trying to.
For 20, okay.
Yes.
So you're getting us caught up.
That's
Basically.
correct.
Okay. And in regards to ARPA funds, I saw that it was 0 in revenue, but there were some expenditures. Can you explain that? to me?
Because when we got upper funds, we spent them in general fund. So general fund has to make up for that because we have an obligation to finish upper program in 2026.
Okay.
And we didn't account it properly, and we commingled it in general fund.
You put it in, you commingled it into general funds. So
Yeah,
that's
which
why it
was
says 0.
which was not the right thing. Yes.
Okay. Is there a way to separate it? Not at this
It's
time.
to fund to make sure that all projects, all money that was designated for upper projects has to, as you remember, we were requested to give back 2.2 million because we didn't properly accounted for
Right.
that.
But
but-
they're refunding that back to us, is that correct? Or-
No, we are not supposed to give them back because we gave them what they wanted.
Okay, good.
We met we complied with what they wanted.
So great. So we didn't have to give it back.
We didn't have to give back.
Excellent.
But the projects, the assigned money has to finish those projects. And the upper program is ending 2026.
Right. And it's been my experience for these past, going on 12 years, that the franchise fees and everything that comes in very late at the end of the year actually catches us up, including SPLOST. It's always $2 or $3 million more than what we projected it out to be. But they come in at the very end of the year, December, January sometimes, because I used to always worry, and through experience in the past, you'll see it now at 31, and then you'll get, around what time of year does the franchise fees come in? I think it's is it the end of December?
It depends on which ones, but by the end of the year, we should have all of them because like now we already have got impact fees. They are already in.
Right.
So it's a throwout, but there is a specific time when we get more depending on which impact fees that you are talking
And
about.
just so everyone knows what those franchise fees are, they're like AT&T, Georgia Power, different companies and utilities. They have those fees and assessments, and then they pass that on to the municipality for usage on their properties.
So those fees, franchise fees, are the ones that are levied from companies that are doing businesses in our city.
Correct. Thank you.
On the grant side, on the revenue grants, we have received a lot of grants revenues. And most of those grants are almost all grants are reimbursable. So we spend money and we are reimbursed. And those monies were held up by various federal, state agencies because we didn't comply. But after we complied everything, we met all the requirements that they needed from us. They have released those funds, and those funds will automatically go to general fund because the general fund is the one that was providing those money for grants to spend.
Okay. Is there a reason why we're doing this tonight and not waiting until the franchise fees and the actual depiction of money comes in to show the true budget of expenditures and revenues because it eventually balances out? Is there a reason why we're doing the presentation tonight?
No, the presentation, because we have never presented it from January, actually, because we were behind. We had expenses, but revenues we did not. So we didn't want to provide you information that has limited that did not meet all the requirements. Without bank reconciliation, you can't say you are providing credible reports.
But was this not provided to us at the retreat?
Retreat was for the next year, for the 2026 budget, projecting for 2026 and where we are now. So it was where we are to help us for 2026 budget. But this is actually reporting of what we have received and what we have spent as of August 31st.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a difference from what was reported. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
But I see that, so we really wouldn't amend this until those franchise fees and everything come in first, correct?
The amending is mainly to say there are some departments that the 2025 budget did not balance. Because we have some departments that they are shortfall of personnel funding. And they will not finish October if we don't do budget amendment.
Okay.
For example, one department has got 3 personnel that there will not be enough to finish. There will be not enough funding in personnel.
Because it wasn't budgeted for.
It was not budgeted for.
I recall that.
And there are some department funds, as I've shown you, plus 6, TIS plus. We are spending TIS plus. We have money. TIS plus is going on, but there's a 0 budget that we budgeted for TIS plus.
Right. But those funds are for projects within the city.
And we are
They're not-
receiving revenues every month.
Right. Okay. Every month. Okay. That's perfect. I just wanted to make sure that it's not something we're just, okay. That's good.
Any question, any comment on the revenues and expenses and general financial outlook? This is the summary of funds. General fund is one line item on revenue, one line item on expenses. Next report will have detailed for every department how much we have spent, and on revenues how much we have brought in.
And that would be when now? Next month? An amendment, no, an amendment to the budget's next month.
Budget amendment will be on the 13th.
Okay,
And the financial report for the month of September will be for October.
okay,
So we will be having financial reports on a monthly basis.
okay. Good deal. Continue on, please. Is that the last slide?
Yeah, it's a summary. The rest is just summary.
Okay, I got it, okay. All right, good deal. Yeah, I was wondering about this. Did you need to go through this at all?
I have explained most of those ones in my revenues and
Okay,
expenses.
all right, good deal.
I'm a little confused, I guess, Mayor. I guess we were getting quarterly reports. Now you changed it to monthly?
No. Quarterly reports you get, but I will be giving you monthly.
Okay, I just thought we were getting quarterly reports, so we could kind of, because sometimes when you're doing month to month, it can throw it off. Just like now, you will see 1 month that goes way up, then the next month that goes way down. The quarterly report, just like they do with, sometimes of the federal reports, now you can see a trend. Whereas you give somebody, you throw some numbers out there for 1 month, you might get somebody the wrong picture of what's going on.
What is your wish?
What, are you saying us, you're just emailing us a report?
I would update you with the details, then monthly.
Okay,
But if you,
Council meeting.
no. But if you feel like that one is too much, still let me know.
no.
No, it's not.
Email me, that's fine.
Right, to get the updated thing. I just don't want to throw information out there where people don't understand, because they see something go up and down. They don't understand that the tax money is coming in November. And they see, oh, all of a sudden this big gap in the budget, and then you don't see the revenue, understanding that the revenue is going to come in November.
Yeah, so you will say, you have to understand you have to understand when your revenues are coming in, because always expenses will be high, and most of the revenues that we have, they will come very late. And even when you are doing audit, they give you 3 months, you can still, because what we are receiving now, sales tax, are not for September, they are for August. So what we are receiving now are not, we received last month, we are not for August, we are for the previous month. And the insurance premiums will not come until October, mid-November. Then we have our property tax that this year will come literally mid or after mid of December. Luckily enough, we will not make it to go and look for, we will finish a year even if we get late the property taxes.
I just want to make sure that whatever we received, that of course, we see that everything and that I don't see it, and then I see something that catches my attention. I just want to be able to see, if I get October, I'd like to have the month before, a couple months before, so I can see the trend.
In regards to revenues, I would like to see the total of revenues from the previous year, so that I can kind of scale on what that looks like. Does that make sense? Like, otherwise I won't know. I don't know what our franchise fees.
Where last year?
Right, because lately it's always increased about 2 to 3 million more than what we projected it to be. But it's just good to see what those fees are previously, so we can kind of compare where we are.
Any other questions? If not, thank you, sir, appreciate it.
Yeah, very
No
welcome.
other question. All right. On that note, council, we need a motion to go into executive session, please. But for legal, personnel, real estate, and cybersecurity.
So moved.
Okay, no, well, actually, she said so moved, so,
I second.
okay, Ms. Gant second that. All in favor, please indicate. Yes. Make sure she's set, yeah. I got it. I just want to make sure, before I say anything, you're good? Okay. All right, council, we need a motion to end our executive session, please. So move for Ms. Barber, Mr. Barry, all in favor indicates. Okay, we did that. Now we need a motion to reconvene our city council work session, please. So for Ms. Barber, back to Ms. Gant, all in favor, please indicate. And from the executive session, ladies and gentlemen, motion to adjourn the executive session was with approval of the affidavit with no action. So there's no action that we need to explain at this time for our executive session. On that note, I need a motion, well, I actually need a motion to end our.
Mayor, we
No,
need
not
a
the-
motion to remove item number 9.
Right.
I'll make a motion to remove item number 9, the appointment of the Main Street Board member. I make that motion because Councilman Alfonso Thomas still serves in that position, and I believe it the right thing to do to allow him to finish that out under the circumstances, and appoint a new Main Street Board member in January at our convening organizing meeting, as has been the custom for the city.
Oh, is there a second to that motion? Mr. Barry, second that motion. All in favor, please indicate.
Here for discussion, please.
One second. All in favor? Okay, so I got 3 votes for, and you were, say no or abstain?
Discussion, please.
Okay, well, you can have discussion, okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know that this item was placed on the agenda at the recommendation of the Main Street Advisory Board. Actually, the chair of the Main Street Advisory Board made a recommendation to appoint me, Yolanda Barber, as a council liaison to the Main Street Advisory Board. He also recognized all of the hard work from Councilman Thomas, his tenure, the respect, the love, everything that he has put into the Main Street Advisory Board over the years. But he also mentioned that the Main Street Advisory Board had pretty much come to a crossroads. They wanted or need a council liaison. I am the only member of the council who is not serving on any of our city's boards and committees. Additionally, the Main Street, the downtown area, is in the district that I am duly elected to represent. I respect the council's decision to table this item until the beginning of the year, but I wanted to add those comments for the record because it was not a request by me to be appointed as a council liaison. That recommendation came from the Main Street Advisory Board. They made that recommendation just, I don't know, it was last month when they came before the council. So I wanted to add those comments and notes for the record. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So otherwise, the motion is already made and seconded. So all in favor of the motion to table this, and I already did that. It was three votes for, and your vote was to,
I will abstain.
Mayor, if I
So-
may, real quick.
3-0.
Just for the record, the protocol hadn't, not only that, my decisions are based off of the policies and the protocols of the way things are to be done, based off the Main Street policy was not adhered to. For the record, there were several steps that are to be taken and they had not been adhered to. That's what I need to state, not anything else. Just, it was in black and white. There are steps and policies and procedures, and they have not been adhered to.
motion passed 3-0-1. On that note, the announcements of upcoming events. Let's see here. Stockbridge Citizens Police Advisory Council, first Thursday of each month, the Stockbridge Police Department Community Room at 6 p.m. on October 2nd. Youth Council meeting, first Monday of each month, City Hall Levi Meeting Room at 6:30, October 6th. The Community Zoning and Information Meeting, Wednesday, October 8th, at City Hall and Council Chambers at 6 p.m. Main Street Advisory Board meeting, second Friday of each month at 9 a.m. at Downtown Connection Center, 130 M.L. King Senior Heritage Trail, October 10th. City Council meeting, second Monday of each month, City Council Chambers, October 13th. Citywide Development Authority meeting, second Tuesday of each month, 6 p.m., City Hall, Levi Meeting Room, October 14th. Youth Council Advisory Committee meeting, date change, third Thursday of each month, 6:30 p.m., City Hall, Levi Meeting Room, and that is October 16th. Planning Commission meeting, Thursday, October 16th at 6:30 p.m., City Hall, Council Chambers. The Downtown Development Authority meeting, board meeting, third Tuesday of each month, 6 p.m. at Downtown Connection Center, 130 M.L. King Senior Heritage Trail, October 21st. Ethics Board meeting, Wednesday, October 22nd, in Levi Meeting Room at 6:30. City Council Work Session meeting, last Tuesday of each month, October 28th at 6 p.m., City Hall, Council Chambers. Join the City of Stockbridge Police Department for International Coffee with a Cop Day, Wednesday, October 1st at 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. at Starbucks on 1058 Eagles Landing Parkway. Join Mayor Pro Tem Gant at the Free Line Dancing class, Wednesday, October 1st at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Merrill Manors Conference Center. Bring your own fan. Haul it to the hall. Bring your household documents to the City Hall parking lot for free shredding on Saturday, October 4th, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. The Muscle Mystique Car Show is back. Main Street is hosting this amazing car show on Saturday, October 4th, from noon to 4 p.m. in downtown Stockbridge at 130 M.L. King Senior Heritage Trail. Join us for a live music. Come dressed in your vintage outfit and enter the costume contest. All ages are welcome. The 2025 Municipal Election Forum will take place Tuesday, October 7th, 7 p.m. at Merrill Manors Conference Center. Join Councilman Eldon Alexander for the District 5 Community Cleanup. Yes, sir.
Correction, the date's gonna be changed on that to November the 8th.
November 8th?
Yes. The community cleanup date will be changed to November 8th.
And that'll be still from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So please meet at Costco parking lot on Jolica Road. Councilman Berry, in partnership with the monthly bingo bash on Wednesday, October 15th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Merle Manors Conference Center. Lots of fun to be had by all. That's in conjunction with Councilman Thomas as well. Join the city of Stockbridge for an annual breast cancer love walk, Saturday, October 18th, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at Clark Park. More information, contact the events department at events@stockbridgega.org. Join Mayor Pro Tem Gant for the free annual Fall Festival on Saturday, October 25th at Clark Park with candy, food trucks, games, costume contests, prizes, and more. Join Mayor Anthony Ford for the monthly Meet the Mayor, Monday, October 27th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at City Hall. And meetings are by appointment. Stockbridge Main Street is hosting a diabetes awareness walk and health fair on Saturday, November 1st. Registration begins at 7:30 a.m. The 5K walk will begin at 8:30 at Clark Park. The health fair will take place at 10 a.m. from noon at various locations throughout the park, weather permitting, or at Merle Manors Conference Center lower level. And the Economic Development Department hosts a free business health clinic on the second Thursday of each month from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. The Stockbridge Connection Center, 130 M.L. King Senior Heritage Trail. Check your health and of your business with a free clinic. Councilman Thomas is honoring veterans with a continued salute all year long. Please send your pictures of veterans, their name, branch, rank, and years of service. And let's see, sign up for real-time alerts about severe weather, road closures, and emergencies on Regroup app. Visit the city's website or social media pages for more information on how and where to sign up. Stay safe. Please contact Rosalind Rawls to schedule an appointment for Meet the Mayor. And for more information on council initiatives, 678-833-3348, or by way of email, rrawls@stockbridgega.org. And the 2025 concert season comes to an end on Saturday, October 18th, with Detroit Gospel Legends featuring Fred Hammond, Donnie McClurkin, Anthony Brown, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Lisa Page Brooks, Calvin Winans, and Brian Cage. And this is the fall, ladies and gentlemen, flu shots, get your health in check for the winter months. Enjoy your football season, your favorite team, and have a fantastic and great, safe Halloween at the end of the month. On that note, Council, I need a motion to end our meeting tonight.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, from Mr. Alexander and Ms. Gant. All in favor, please indicate. Unanimous decision. Good night, everybody. God bless you.
Look at those lights. Is that what it is? 1,400.
That's
That thing went crazy.
Yeah, that's why it needs to be promoted.